Hello, welcome to what I'm playing Harvest League Edition. These are short videos about the builds I'm playing any given league. Hope you guys enjoy and let's jump right into it. Today's build is a crit Impale Uul-Netol Bladestorm Berserker, or as I like to call him, Embracer. Before we jump in, just a short disclaimer that this build was mainly possible due to the harvest mechanic, and I repeat, do not recommend you to try this at home. Now that we got that out of the way, let's jump right into it. What is this build about? This build is all about using Uul-Netol's Embrace axe since it got changed in this last league and can trigger Bone Nova on hit against bleeding enemies. I embarked on making a good enough build using this axe in the hopes that Bone Nova will sport an impressive damage, but alas, it did not turn out so. For the most part, it seemed as if Bladestorm was doing all the work. Another important aspect of this build is rage. As Uul-Netol's Embrace is a very slow base, we need to rack up significant attack speed increase somewhere, and rage just seemed the easiest way. We use Bladestorm because it is a somewhat autonomous damage delivery as the Stormslinger for a time. My preferred way of leveling is using my endgame setup as soon as possible, so I leveled with 200 axes and started using Bladestorm at level 28. I must say that the leveling was fairly smooth as it seemed that the Bladestorm does substantial amounts of damage. Final skill tree should look something like this. For Ascendancy we pick Berserker as it seemed to patch the holes from Uul-Netol's Embrace the best. The notables I'm using are Crave the Slaughter, Rite of Ruin, Aspect of Carnage, and Flawless Savagery. So let's talk currency now. This was my last build of the league, so I wasn't holding back, but with the harvest mechanic I didn't really spend much raw currency on it. Most of the gear I crafted myself and only spent a few Awakener orbs. Sadly, harvest won't be available next league, so such an amazing gear would probably cost an arm and a leg in future leagues. The uniques I'm using in my build are Uul-Netol's Embrace, Glorious Vanity granting Divine Flesh, Watcher's Eye, and Lion's Roar. The rest are very well crafted rares. So, let's talk about what can this build do. Well, I won't beat around the bush and say that this was a pretty mediocre build considering the gear. Uul-Netol's Embrace itself left me quite disappointed as the spikes from Bone Nova seemed like they weren't doing any damage and I mainly relied on Bladestorms. Ultimately, I did still kill Awakener 8 and Uber Elder, and the biggest problem for this build was that if I were to die, getting back into the fight after losing all the rage stacks was quite clunky, and you can see it in the Awakener fight. Overall, I still enjoyed making this build and will miss Harvest League greatly as it allowed my memes to not be dreams. You can find path of building link in the description box. Thanks for watching and be sure to check out my stream if you are new here. Bye, bye, bye.